If you picture the Indian subcontinent, you likely imagine a specific frequency of life: the heat of the pavement, the crush of 1.5 billion people sharing a finite space. It is an environment built on sensory overload, where neon and exhaust blur into a constant, overwhelming rhythm. But there is a different version of this landscape. To find it, you have to leave the pavement behind and stand on a riverbank at 4 in the morning. Here, along the Ganges in Rishikesh, the air is biting cold. The smell of damp earth replaces the diesel. The human noise drops to zero. At this hour, the only movement is the steady current cutting through the morning mist, winding its way down from the Himalayas. The river operates as a sanctuary. It offers a brief window for solitary meditation, free from the demands of the day ahead. The quiet is amplified by the scale of the infrastructure that surrounds it. The heavy suspension bridges and the sprawling temple complexes sit empty. Looking at these multi-story ashrams and rows of dormant stone steps, you can see the sheer capacity designed into these banks. Right now, this space is defined by what is missing. The Don River is a blank canvas, waiting for the city to wake up. As the sun climbs, that isolation evaporates. The rising temperature triggers a shift in how the riverbank is used. This diagram illustrates the 24-hour cycle of utility. By midday, the window for quiet meditation closes, replaced by commerce, bathing, and intensive physical labor. You can see this shift most clearly in Varanasi. The stone steps, or ghats, transition from places of quiet reflection into the city's most heavily trafficked public square. The river becomes the workspace. Thousands of people gather to wash clothes, bathe, and draw water under the protection of bamboo umbrellas. The acoustic profile of the bank turns over. The silence of the morning is replaced by the rhythmic slap of wet fabric against sandstone and the dense chatter of pilgrims. Further east, along the Brahmaputra in Guwahati, the sheer width of the water creates a logistical hurdle. Locals rely on crowded ferries to navigate this transit corridor, moving cargo and commuters past mid-river monuments all afternoon. By 2 in the afternoon, the river's morning holiness is gone, replaced by its role as a vital life support system. Then comes the final transition of the day. As the harsh midday sun softens into the golden hour, the riverbanks pivot from places of labor into expansive visual stages. In Agra, the heat subsides, and the light angling across the Yamuna River takes on a deep amber quality. The white marble of the Taj Mahal catches that setting sun, casting a perfect symmetrical glow reflected on the surface of the slow-moving water. That same light interacts just as heavily with India's natural geology. Hundreds of miles south, the Narmada River carves through deep gorges at Bedaghat. Here, the golden light saturates the jagged white marble cliffs, transforming the physical landscape into a glowing spectacle. But the visual peak of the evening happens where the crowds are thickest. At the Sangam in Prayagraj, where 3 sacred rivers meet, the banks swell to their absolute maximum density. These evening gatherings carry an immense historical weight. The mechanics of this convergence have remained largely unchanged for centuries. You can see that continuity here. The scale of the crowds migrating to the water's edge at dusk is a deeply rooted tradition, repeating itself generation after generation. Dusk is the singular moment when the sheer scale of the geography and the intensity of the devotion merge into a single experience. When the sun finally drops below the horizon, the natural light vanishes, and the banks are illuminated by the artificial fire of the Ganga Aarti. Priests move in strict synchronicity on raised platforms, swinging heavy brass lamps. The smell of burning incense drifts over the water, holding the collective focus of thousands of onlookers. As the ceremony peaks, visitors step to the water's edge to perform a river blessing, launching small leaf boats filled with lit oil lamps out into the current. The surface of the Ganges turns ink black, carrying a steady procession of flickering flames away into the darkness. In 14 hours, the river's purpose has shifted. The space that began as a silent, misty sanctuary now operates as a stadium of fire. To understand the subcontinent, you cannot simply look at a map of its waterways. you have to watch the clock. The character of these rivers is defined by their daily metamorphosis. It is a cycle that ensures every sunrise will offer a sanctuary, and every sunset will provide a stage.